Write, plan, and act. All right? Write down what it is that you want to accomplish. Make a plan. Write that plan down too. And then take action on it. Because action's the thing that moves the needle. That's the only thing that matters. All right? That's what's going to drive the results. Hey, welcome back. It's Rob, and I am here with Chapter 5 today of the 21 Success Secrets of Self-Made Millionaires by Brian Tracy. Chapter 5 is called Commit to Excellence. If you have the book, you know that. If you don't have the book, get it through the link down below. This is a book that'll change your life, and it's a fantastic summary of all the things that you can do to turn yourself into a self-made millionaire. Brian Tracy interviewed many self-made millionaires for this book and distilled all that information. He himself is a self-made millionaire as well. So the man knows what he speaks of in this particular regard. So, commit to excellence. What are we talking about? Well, some people would say the Oakland Raiders, right? That's a throwback joke to now they're the Las Vegas Raiders. They were the Los Angeles Raiders for a while. They were the Oakland Raiders again. Whatever Raiders they are, they have a commitment to excellence. That's kind of their slogan, okay? Not what he's talking about in this book, but nevertheless, an important lesson from the book and an important lesson in life. Committing to excellence means that you have decided to be the best at whatever it is that you do. All right? Now, whether or not you are actually the best is irrelevant. The thought and the pursuit and the constant drive to become the best at what you do is enough. That is what will propel you to the upper echelons of whatever you're doing, okay? Whatever company you're at, or if you're in business or whatever it is. The point is not to be the best and to be recognized as the best, because frankly, it's pretty subjective, isn't it? Right? I'm a guitar player. I love playing the guitar. And so one of the debates that happens among guitar players is, who was the best guitar player ever? Right? Nonsense. It's silly. It's not even, it's a stupid debate to have, because everybody's going to have their own opinion based on the type of music that they like. All right? And some people, just to be haters, are going to say, when you name somebody, no, that guy, you got to be kidding me. He's not even in the top 10, you know. It happens with sports too, okay? Basketball. Who's the GOAT? Is it Jordan? Is it Chamberlain? Is it Jabbar? Is it LeBron? You know, who is the GOAT? It does Kobe. It's a silly debate to have, because you've got an opinion, they've got an opinion, everybody's got a right to their own opinions. So the best is a subjective thing. You don't have to be the best, but you have to internally commit to being the best, even if you never get there, all right? That's the important part of this. That's the important thing. Aim for the top 10% of whatever field that you're in, all right? And that is your ultimate goal, okay, is to get into that top 10%. And if you want to push yourself even harder, get into the top 1%, all right? Strive for that every day, because what will happen is you will take action toward that every day, and you will grow and you will improve and you will make strides in that direction because you are consciously making that effort, right? Everyone starts at the bottom in whatever they do, all right? Whatever it is that you're trying to do in your life, there was a point, and maybe you're at that point right now where you're just starting something new, but there was a point where you didn't have any idea. You didn't know what you were doing. Let's say you're one of the most successful stock traders in the world, all right? There was a time when you were not, because you were just beginning. And maybe you even sucked, all right? And that's what they talk about when they talk about embrace the suck, right? That's a phrase now. What that means is, like, you know, you can't get better at something until you're willing to, like, look at the fact that you suck at it and then try and figure out how to get better, right? That's what happens. Everyone starts at the bottom. Nobody has to stay there. All right? That's a choice. And that choice comes down to your own personal commitment to excellence. All right? Your life only gets better when you get better. That's a point that Brian Tracy makes in the book. That is not my words. Those are his words. All right, not my phrase. Your life only gets better when you get better. Okay, meaning that in order to live a better life, you've got to become a different person. You've got to move into that 2.0 version of yourself, right? As some people like to talk about. You've got to strive to be the best. You've got to strive to improve all the time, constantly. Tony Robbins expresses it as CANI, all right? Constant and never-ending improvement, CANI. So constant and never-ending improvement means that you are committed to excellence. That's the whole point, right? You are trying to improve all the time because you are reaching that top 10% or that top 1% or whatever it is that you're going for, okay? So I have an expression that I like to use. It is something that I heard, and it also goes back to my middle school basketball days, although it wasn't phrased this way at the time. My coach told us and taught us that you play like you practice, all right? I talked about that in Heads Up Baseball. You play like you practice, right? So whatever you're doing, don't go through the motions. Treat it seriously. Act like it's a game situation, because you can't just walk out onto the court in the middle of a game and decide that you're all of a sudden going to turn it on and be a pro. You play like you practice. That has to come from somewhere, and it comes from practice, right? So I've kind of taken that expression and taken it to another level in my life, and I heard a different way of expressing it, which is the way you do anything is the way you do everything. Maybe you've heard that expression before. I even shortened it up to my own little thing that I like to say, which is TWIDA equals TWIDY. All right? Because it makes me laugh, and I think that's a fun way to say it. But TWIDA equals TWIDY. The way you do anything, TWYDA, equals the way you do everything, TWYDE, okay? TWIDA equals TWIDY. So that's one of my favorite expressions that I like to use. That's one of my mantras, and we talked about that in Heads Up Baseball too. But a mantra that you use to repeat to yourself, to keep yourself locked in and keep yourself on track, okay? So TWIDA equals TWIDY. The way you do anything is the way you do everything, meaning that no matter what it is that you are doing, commit to excellence in that. Because what you're doing is training yourself toward excellence. You are conditioning yourself to be excellent all the time. And therefore, when you try to be excellent in whatever it is that you're doing, it's natural. And it comes naturally to rise to that top 10% or that top 1% because you're always doing it, right? It becomes a habit, okay? So, one of the things that Brian Tracy also talks about in this chapter is the idea that you've got to improve your skills in order to drive yourself up, right? In order to rise up to this new level, you've got to improve your skills. You can't improve every skill all at the same time. Don't overwhelm yourself by sitting down and writing this list of all these things you have to do better, okay? When you are evaluating an employee, and you sit down with them, if you talked about a few of the things that they do well and then you gave them a laundry list of 5 different things they need to improve, well, first of all, they're going to see that as a negative experience. But second of all, where are they supposed to start? You just told them a whole bunch of stuff they need to do different, right? So give them a starting point by sticking to one thing, all right? One thing at a time. And so that's what Brian Tracy kind of closes the chapter out with, and that's your action step. All right. And it was my action step. And again, if you want my notes for this book, they are at the website. It's yoursoulsource.com/resources. That's where you can sign up for the email newsletter. And then I will send you my notes for this book so that you can have those. Now, the question that Brian Tracy asks is, what one skill, if you were to develop it in an excellent fashion, would change everything for you? I'm paraphrasing, but what would have the highest positive impact, all right, is I think the way he says it. But what one skill, if you were to be excellent at that skill, would be the number one thing, the catalyst that would drive everything else up, right? Figure out what that is. Write it down. Create a plan to get better at it and take action on that plan every day, all right? And that's another one of my little I don't know, this one's an acronym. TWIDA equals TWIDY is an acronym too. But this one is just, I actually use the letters WPA. All right, I tell myself all the time, WPA, WPA. What does that mean? It means write, plan, and act. All right, write down what it is that you want to accomplish, make a plan, write that plan down too, and then take action on it. Because action's the thing that moves the needle. That's the only thing that matters. All right, that's what's going to drive the results. So that's your action step for today. Speaking of action, and if you like this video, like this video. If you got some value out of this, right? Go on over to the website, like I say, get the book through my link down below. Please leave a comment about what this means to you, this commitment to excellence. Maybe you're a Raiders fan. Leave a comment about that. Doesn't matter to me. But what I really want to see is I really want to see people commenting about what this whole TWIDA equals TWIDY thing means to them. Committing to excellence. How do you commit to excellence in your life, right? What are you doing to join the 1%, okay? And what skill is it that you need to improve, and how are you going about that, all right? And share this video with other people who may like it as well. And I will see you next time in Chapter 6.
I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.